Well, we're now joined live by the head of the Free Romania Party and former presidential candidate, Răzvan Constantinescu. Mr. Constantinescu, thank you for joining us.
Hello, glad to see you again after such a long pause.
Yes. Well, Vladimir Putin says the origin of the drone in Romania cannot be confirmed without any extensive analysis of the wreckage. So why do you think Bucharest has been so quick to blame Moscow?
It is clear that the claim it was a Russian drone is from the same range of lies as the Russian interfered in the presidential elections in favor of Georgescu, you remember. There were no proofs that time, there are no proofs now. Later then, it turned out that the National Liberal Party paid a bot farm through a company called Kensington Communication to massively spread clips of candidate Călin Georgescu. Back then, the lie was used to justify the aberrant cancellation of the elections right during their course. And now it is used to hasten the signing of the safe contract, you may know. Official mainstream information tells about a drone of Russian origin, most likely Geran-2, frequently used by Russians in western and southern Ukraine because these drones are the only ones with such a big range of action. At the same time, we are endlessly told that we must borrow money to buy weapons because Romania is or may be attacked. The narrative, the Russians are coming, is used obstinately to induce fear and divert attention from various major topics of the day, especially those related to corruption or incompetence of the rulers. In this case, the recent fall of the Bolojan government, for which a state of necessity would be just perfect. The problem is that both the images from the scene and the statements of the people involved, including the mayor of the city Galați, Mr. Ionuț Pucheanu, indicate a small drone, evidenced by the relatively small damage resulting from the explosion, no way to be a Geran-2 drone. It is known that Geran-2 has a length of 3.5 meters, a wingspan of 2.5 meters, and carries a standard load of 52 kilograms of explosives, which can be increased, of course, to 90 kilograms. Such a load would devastate 2 or 3 floors of a block of flats, and at the same time would demolish the stairwell. This did not happen, and the windows of the apartments on the upper floor remained intact. It is worth noting that the large 5G antennas located on that block were not damaged. During the last drone incident on Romanian territory about 8 months ago, our illegitimate president, Mr. Nicușor Dan, made a hilarious remark that went viral on the internet. He said, if you can't get your hand on the drone, then you don't know what's inside it. This deeply philosophical thought can still be applied now. All we know is that a large drone like the Geran-2 would have had a devastating impact, and the small one wouldn't have been able to get from Russia all the way here because it wouldn't have had enough fuel. In other words, it's not a Russian drone, and Russia's ability to divert Ukrainian drones and the propaganda claimed in the case of drones, remember, over the Baltic countries, doesn't reach the Romanian border. So, in my opinion, it's a small Ukrainian drone sent specifically to achieve the media impact necessary for the smooth signing of the safe contract, the main beneficiary being precisely Ukraine. I mean, it seems to be a false flag operation. Now we had a press conference by the Ministry of Defense, who said that the drone was not shut down because there was a risk of hitting the Ukrainian lands. In other words, we are more likely to protect Ukrainian territory than ours. So, why were 2 airplanes and a helicopter taking off the ground? Only for the show and for the unnecessary spending of the money? The lie that a drone with such a long range was sent from Russia with only a few kilograms of explosives is downright ridiculous. The fact that it could be a Russian drone that crashed in Ukraine, modified and then sent to us, is reinforced by the lack of any details about when it was detected on the Army's radars, when it was where it was positioned, and what was its trajectory. I mean, they are taking us for fools. And now, in the moment when our illegitimate president comes out on top, a few hours ago, he declared that the drone in question was hit by the Ukrainians, so it was diverted to Romania, not sent to Romania. So, the whole charade with the Russian attack was another big bluff. Moreover, the announcement regarding the closure of the Russian consulate in Constanța and declaring Consul Andrei Kosilian as a persona non grata seem like an unjustified response, equivalent to taking the diplomatic relationship out of the dialogue zone and introducing it into one of open confrontation. Now, opinions in Romania are divided depending on how effective the official propaganda is over our critical thinking. Some of the people even say that this incident would not have happened if Romania had not been fueling the Ukrainian war effort with enormous sums of money and the implicit corruption of the puppet Ukrainian government and the EU the same. Because in December 2024, Romanians voted for a president who promised peace, Călin Georgescu, but they were forced to have one who fuels the conflict and obediently submits to external orders, after the winning at the time was completely abusively banned from running the elections. Let's hope that Romania will not be pushed into a war that we have nothing to do with.
Well, thank you so much for bringing us the details. We just heard from the head of the Free Romania Party and former presidential candidate, Răzvan Constantinescu.
Thank you very much.